The glass shattered against the polished marble floor before anyone could speak. Every head in the boardroom turned. She didn't flinch. Not when the assistant gasped, not when security shifted at the door, and certainly not when the man at the head of the table slowly lifted his gaze to meet hers. "Clean it up," she said calmly, her British accent slicing through the silence. "And bring another. No apology, no hesitation, only control." Because if she lost control even for a second, everything would unravel. Across the long obsidian table, he leaned back, fingers steepled, eyes fixed on her like a man staring at a ghost he wasn't sure he believed in. "Interesting entrance," he said, voice low, measured, dangerous. "Is this how negotiations are done in London now?" Her heartbeat stumbled, just once. Then she smiled. Cool, sharp, untouchable. Only when the stakes deserve it. A pause. Long enough to make the room uncomfortable, long enough for something invisible to pass between them. Recognition, shock, something deeper, something buried. Because she knew that voice, and he knew that silence. She had been sent to destroy his empire. He had built it waiting for her to come back, and neither of them had expected this. 10 years earlier, he wasn't the most feared CEO in Korea. He wasn't the man whose name made executives nervous and competitors ruthless. He was just Kwon Jisoo, a boy with too much ambition and a smile that made her forget everything else. "You're still saying it wrong," he had teased, leaning against the railing as London rain poured around them. "I am not," she shot back, arms folded, chin lifted stubbornly. "You are. It's not Jisoo like that." "Then how is it?" He stepped closer. Too close. "Like this," he murmured, his voice softer now, slower. "Jisoo." She swallowed. Her lips parted. "Jisoo," she repeated. His smile changed. Not playful anymore. Something deeper. "Better," he said quietly. Back then, he looked at her like she was something rare, like she was the only person in the world who saw him before he became this, and she had loved him for it. But love didn't survive what came next. Back in the present, she stood at the edge of the boardroom, file in hand, heels steady, posture unbreakable. "Shall we begin?" she said. Executives shifted uneasily, because everyone in that room knew who she was. Zara Adeyemi, the Nigerian negotiator who dismantled billion-dollar empires without raising her voice. The woman you hired when you didn't just want to win, you wanted the other side erased. And today, she had been hired to dismantle his latest acquisition. His boldest move yet, his most vulnerable. She walked forward, placing the file on the table and sliding copies toward the executives. Not toward him. Never toward him. "I'll keep this simple," she said. "Your acquisition breaches 3 international compliance structures and exposes your organization to multi-jurisdictional legal collapse." A murmur rippled through the room. "You're exaggerating," one executive snapped. She didn't even look at him. "No," she replied calmly. "If anything, I'm being generous." Another leaned forward. "Our legal team vetted and missed it," she cut in, her tone still smooth, "or chose to ignore it." Silence fell hard. Then her eyes lifted and met his, still watching her, still unreadable, still too familiar. "Your move," she said. No one spoke, until he did. Elaborate, one word. But it shifted the entire room, because it wasn't directed at the table. It was directed at her, only her. Zara inhaled slowly, steadying herself. "This acquisition," she said, tapping the document, "can be dismantled within 30 days. Gasps. Actual, audible gasps. "That's impossible," someone said. She tilted her head slightly. "Is it? This deal has taken 2 years to finalize." "And yet," she replied, her gaze flickering briefly back to Jisoo, "you left a door open." The tension snapped tight, because now it wasn't just analysis, it was a challenge, and he smiled, slowly, dangerously. "Leave us," he said. The room froze. "Sir," I said leave. Chairs scraped, papers gathered. No one argued twice. Within moments, the boardroom emptied, leaving only the two of them and 10 years of unfinished history pressing against the walls. The door clicked shut. Silence swallowed the room. "You look the same," he said. Her breath caught before she could stop it. "That's not true," she replied. "People change." His gaze darkened. "Yes," he said quietly. "They do." Another silence. "You disappeared," he added. There it was, the first crack. "I moved on," she said. "Without a word? You didn't come looking." His jaw tightened. "I did." She let out a quiet, humorless laugh. "Not hard enough." He stood, slowly. Control wrapped around every movement. "You think I would just let you go?" he asked. "You did. I didn't know where you went. You didn't ask the right people." Their voices rose, tension snapping tighter with every word. I waited, he said, stepping closer. Months. Her chest tightened painfully. I couldn't stay, she said softly. You know that? No, he snapped. I don't. She looked away, because meeting his eyes now would destroy everything she'd rebuilt. My father, she said quietly. He found out. Jisoo stilled. Found out what? About us. The shift in his expression was immediate, sharp, understanding. To control me, she continued. He cut everything off, my money, my phone, my access to you. His voice dropped. You could have fought. I did, she whispered. I left. He frowned. I left London completely, she clarified. That was the only way he would stop. And you didn't tell me? I couldn't. He shook his head, frustration simmering. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to, she replied. It happened. Silence again. But this time it wasn't sharp. It was heavy, regretful. You should have come back, he said eventually. Her throat tightened. I did. His head snapped up. What? I came back, she repeated, 6 months later. His breath caught. I went to your apartment, she continued. You were gone. Because while she had been forced away, he had already started building something else, something bigger, something that would make sure he would never be powerless again. I thought you left me, she said. And I thought you abandoned me, he replied. The truth landed between them like a quiet explosion. 10 years, destroyed by silence, and now they stood on opposite sides of a war neither of them had meant to start. He exhaled slowly, dragging a hand through his hair. So this is who you are now, he said. You destroy companies. I fix problems, at a cost. Yes. His gaze hardened again. And now you're here to fix mine. She didn't hesitate. Yes. A beat. Then do it, she blinked. What? If you can destroy it, he said calmly, then do it. Confusion flickered across her face. You're not going to fight? His lips curved faintly. Oh, I will. Something in her chest tightened. Then why? Because, he interrupted lightly, I want to see if you're still the woman I knew. The challenge was clear now, personal, dangerous. And when I win, she asked. His eyes held hers. You won't. The next 30 days became war, not loud, not public, but relentless. Every move she made, he anticipated. Every weakness she exposed, he reinforced. Meetings became battlegrounds. Emails turned into calculated strikes. You're predicting me, she said one evening, dropping a file onto his desk. He leaned back, unfazed. I know you. You knew me 10 years ago. People don't change that much. She stepped closer. I did. Then prove it. She hated how steady he was, how close he still felt. You're making this personal, she said. It always was. Her chest tightened. That's not how business works. No, he agreed, but it's how we work. The words lingered too long, too deep, and she turned away before they could pull her under. But the truth was, this had never just been business, and it never would be. Late one night, she found him alone, city lights spilling across the office. You should go home, she said quietly. So should you. I will. Then why are you still here? She hesitated, because the truth was standing right in front of her. You didn't sign the revised agreement, she said instead. He smiled faintly. There it is. What? The deflection. She crossed her arms. I'm not deflecting. You always did this, he said, stepping closer. When things got too real. Her breath caught. That's not fair. Neither was leaving. The words hit harder now. Because now, they both knew the truth. I didn't leave you, she said softly. He stopped just in front of her, close enough to feel. Then why does it still feel like you did? She had no answer, only silence. I'm here now, she whispered. His eyes searched hers. Are you? The question lingered, because presence wasn't proximity, and both of them knew it. Days turned into weeks. The deadline arrived. The boardroom filled again. Executives tense, lawyers ready. Zara stood at the head of the table. One signature, she said, holding up the document. That's all it takes. Silence. All eyes turned to Jisoo. He leaned back, watching her. Always watching. And if I don't sign, then your acquisition collapses within 90 days. You're certain? Yes. He leaned forward slightly. Then why are you hesitating? Her breath caught. Because he was right. I'm not. You are. The room held its breath. Sign it, she said. But her voice wasn't as steady anymore. His gaze softened. Say it like you mean it. Don't do this. Do what? This thing where you make everything about us. It is about us. No, she snapped. It's business. It stopped being business the moment you walked in. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. Sign it, she said again. Quieter now. He studied her, then picked up the pen. Everything seemed to stop. One question, he said. She nodded. If I sign this, do you leave again? Her heart stopped, Because that was the real question, not the deal, not the company, but them. She started, but nothing came because she didn't know. And he saw that. He set the pen down. I thought so. Jisoo, no, he said, standing. You don't get to do this again. I'm not. You are, he cut in. You walk in, change everything, then disappear. It matters, she snapped. Then prove it. Silence. How? She whispered. Stay. The word hit like impact. What? Stay, he repeated. Not for the deal. For us. Tears burned behind her eyes. You're asking me to choose. I'm asking you to stop running. Her heart ached, because part of her wanted to say yes, to stay, to believe. But fear held her back. I don't know if we can, she admitted. His expression softened. We won't know if you leave. The room watched, waiting, and Zara stood at the edge of everything she had built and everything she had lost. Slowly, she reached for the document, closed it. Gasps echoed. I'm not destroying your company, she said. Shock rippled through the room. You'll lose everything, someone warned. She shook her head. No, she said softly. I won't. Because for the first time in 10 years, she wasn't choosing strategy or control. She was choosing him. Jisoo stared at her. You're staying? He asked. Her voice trembled, but she nodded. Yes. And just like that, the war ended. Not with destruction, but with something far more dangerous.